Shalom, I'm Dr. Yosapa, Zion Law School, and today I'm going to start in about, in a few minutes. I'm going to talk about the law of attraction and my experience I had. So I'm going to talk about my experience that I had with the law of attraction, but a negative experience that I had, but that was so powerful that I wanted to share it with everybody today, just to show that this law of attraction really works. And what I mean to say by that is that what we think about, what we feel, the emotion that we feel, more importantly, the emotions that we feel and the imagery that we experience in the conscious but also subconscious mind produces what we experience in life. But the key is the emotion. And most people, when they talk about the law of attraction, they'll tell you that what you think about appears in your life. But that's very general. The specific, let me rephrase that. Specifically, what it means by what you think about is not what you think about, but it's what you feel. It's the feelings that you feel and the imagery, conscious imagery or subconscious imagery. In other words, images that you are aware that you are seeing, you have in your head, or images that you're not aware of. But that's what produces things in your life. So it's not just that inner voice. Well, it's not the inner voice in your head. That's not what it is. Okay, so if you repeat some phrase or mantra, that's not going to produce anything in itself. What has to happen, or when it becomes productive, meaning that when you're able to manifest, is when that thought becomes a part of your emotions, okay, and a part of your emotions. And then once it becomes a part of your emotions, and you begin to feel it, it has its own imagery. Okay, it has its own imagery. So that's why people who, they have a mantra, something really big, like for example, I have a gazillion dollars, right? The person's subconscious mind might reject that because it conflicts with their self-image. And the way our mind works is that we always try to make our self-image, the way we see ourselves, what we deserve, what we don't deserve, our value system, things like that. Our mind is always working with information to make that right. In other words, we have to be right. So what does that mean? It means that in order for us to have a healthy mind, emotionally healthy, the world has to conform to what we think and feel about ourselves. In other words, how we see ourselves, right? If it conflicts, then it's big problems. So our minds always adjust what happens to fit our self-image. So if you have some big dream and your self-image is not able to accept that, meaning that some thought will say, let's say you say, I have a gazillion dollars. A little voice in your head might say, no, you don't. So that's your subconscious mind rejecting that idea, that thought, or that command. Or another example would be, I deserve such and such. I deserve, a better wife, a better husband. I deserve more money. but there may be a voice in your head that tells you, no, you don't. But even if you don't hear that voice, you may still, at the subconscious level, believe that you're not worthy of that. So it will reject it. So when you speak a mantra, speaking the mantra takes longer because it has to be converted into a feeling, right? Which means that if your mantra is too big and your subconscious rejects it, you'll never achieve it. So you have to make your want, your mantra closer to what your subconscious mind believes you're worthy of, but it's still a stretch, like a reasonable goal. In other words, the subconscious mind can say, oh yeah, okay, I can do that. I can do that. For example, if you're a salesperson and let's say you make $100 a week, your subconscious mind might not accept that you make $10,000 a week, right? But if you say, okay, I make $105 per week, your subconscious mind can more easily accept that. It very well might accept that, right? And from 105, you can do 110, and you'll know it because of the way you feel, and then you'll actually get it, right? So your self-image is improving, expanding with regard to the income that we, so that's how it works. So, but if you can get the feeling, then the feeling will produce results fast, right? Because the feeling is what it's all about. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I want to do today is talk about my experience with the law of attraction on the negative side. See, the law of attraction is always at work. In other words, your mind is always attracting to you whatever it is you have strong emotions for, right? Whatever you have strong emotion, if it's fear, it'll be the thing that you're afraid of that's going to appear in your life. If it's anything else, for example, on the positive side, everybody likes to, money is an easy topic to talk about. So let's just say money, right? On the positive side, if you say, okay, I'm feeling really passionate about being wealthy, and I feel real wealthy every day, all day. That's all I feel, right? Then the wealth will come to you. And of course, you don't know how it's going to come, but it's going to come, okay? Because you have the feeling of the wealth and you expect wealth to appear in your life. So it will come. As they say, the universe will conspire to bring these things to you. So this is a fact because in religion, let's look at it this way. In religion, they tell you, they teach you that you have to pray to a deity, right? And then the deity will do things for you. This is what religion teaches you. So now, what does that do? Well, first of all, that's not correct. Okay, that's incorrect. At least when you talk about the Most High, right, and his relationship with the house of Yasharallah. So let's say Christianity or any of these other religions. If you're sitting around waiting for a deity to do something for you, it'll never happen. Of course, unless you believe it and you have a passion that it's really going to happen, because then you activate the law of attraction, or what we call another word for the law of attraction, or a phrase, or the way to say it is the your power, or your well, quote unquote, let me use quote unquote your deity faculty. This is your reticular activating system. So your reticular activating system in your brain, once you activate that, that's where your creative power comes from. Okay, that's why the scripture says, and ye are gods, right? Ye are gods, ye are creative powers. This is where that comes from. But that's kind of getting off topic. And I just want to kind of like talk about the mechanics of this so you can understand what's really happening. And so when you notice things happening in your life, you can have control over it as long as you're aware, right? Things won't just happen to you because you're aware, right? But then also you can use it. You can make a conscious effort to use it to get the things that you want. But then also when you notice yourself in a very negative state, you can notice that and then interrupt it to prevent something very negative, its equivalent, from happening in your life, which is what happened to me, which is what I want to tell everybody about today. So anyway, the important thing is that some deity is not going to do anything for you. Okay, the Most High says to us that when we follow his instructions, he's going to make the work of our hands successful. And then that means that we have to do work, right? We have to do work. It's not just going to be the Most High doing something and you do absolutely nothing. Okay, that's not how it works. He says he's going to make everything that we do extremely successful. So we've got to do something. So in other words, religion disarms you and sets you up for failure because you're looking for someone outside of yourself to do things for you. Whereas when you follow the Most High, now you realize that you're in control and that, for example, if it is to be, it's up to me, you've got to do something, right? And then the Most High will then give you extreme success because he's going to ensure that everything you do becomes an extreme success, right? So this is what he promises in our law. You can read through this in the book of Deuteronomy. You can find this stuff out. So let me tell you how this stuff played out with me. So I think about 3 weeks ago, I was, something happened to me and I was really upset about it, right? I really felt hurt and angry. And I felt like, I felt completely disrespected and like something had been taken away from me, okay? Because of some things that had happened with somebody I know and respected, and they did some things to me. So I had these negative feelings that I was dealing with, and that went on for about a week, right? And I started thinking to myself, you know, wow, this is really not good. This is going to show up in my life. And I didn't think it would happen so fast. So I said, let me try to get myself out of this negative mood, because this was like every day I was feeling this, trying to make a decision on what should I do about the situation. And yeah, of course, I never made a decision for a week. And then finally I decided, you know what, I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to let it go, right? But the negative emotions were so strong, so intense, that it manifested in my life. Now, let me tell you, this is what happens. When you have negative emotions, you, regardless of what they are, the equivalent of those negative emotions will show up in your life. So if you feel disrespected, you feel like somebody took something from you, right? Then what's going to happen in your life is somebody's going to disrespect you and take something from you. Okay, that's going to happen in your life. And the more intensely you feel it, and the more you concentrate on it, the faster it's going to appear. This is what the law of attraction is. This is the creative faculty at work, right? So anyway, long story short, I'm walking down the street with my cell phone in my hand, right? And in Asia, people will drive by you on their motorbike and snatch your phone, right? So So now I've been in Asia for a long, 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 long time, and it never happened to me. I heard stories about it, and I'm much bigger than people here, and much, much bigger, taller, bigger, and usually I don't have a problem. So anyway, so it happened to me. Somebody got my phone, right? But I caught the guy. So he came behind me on the motorcycle, snatched my phone, and but he wasn't able to speed away. They go so fast, but for some reason I was able to catch this guy, right? I caught him and threw him off of the motorcycle, recovered my phone, and held the guy until the police came, right? So long story short, long story short, I had a very difficult time getting my phone back. And it was a very stressful time. That's what I mean. It was a very stressful time getting my phone back because it took so long. You know, it took like maybe 10, 12 days or more. I forgot how many. And, you know, there's a stress. All my information is on my phone, all my contacts, everything. So you know, I'm not sure if I'm going to lose all my information and things like that. So it was really, really stressful. And, you know, a couple days later, I realized, wow, I brought that on myself because I did not manage my emotions well, right? Looking back, I should have either contacted that guy, that person who did these things to me, who was involved with it, and tried to settle that. And I didn't because I didn't know if, you know, if it would get worse. But looking back, I should have done that because I could have resolved it and this prevented me from attracting this extremely negative event in my life. Okay, that's the first thing. Um, that was the first mistake I made. Or if I didn't contact the person, I could have said, well, you know what? I'll just let it go. It's just an experience, right? Things happen and there's no need for me to be upset, right? Because I'm sure I've upset people before too. And it's just this time it's my turn. So I could have done something like that to let it go, to preserve or to protect my mental state, right? But I didn't do it. So in that sense, it was a failure and a big learning expense for me. And then secondly, if I had to do it all over again, I just would have let the guy keep the phone. But my reaction was to catch the guy, right, and get my phone back. You know, it wasn't something that I thought about. It was just a reaction. So, and which could have been dangerous, right? In the U.S. or some other country, something like that, the person could have had a weapon, right? And I mean, who knows what could have happened? But fortunately, that wasn't the case. And you know, when after it happened, I realized what I did. I said, "Wow, that was incredibly stupid of me. I should have just let that guy go and bought another phone, right?" So, but that's the way it is. You know, but that's how it is, right? So anyway, I just wanted to share how the law of attraction really works. And in this case, it happened for me in a very negative way. So I hope to report back in the near future with a positive experience on how the law of attraction works. And I want to thank those people who are here for listening. And please share the video, like the video. Help me build a subscriber list. And if you haven't donated to Zion Law School or purchased one of our books or attended a course, please do so. I appreciate your support. The more people who see the video, the better off we are as a people. And I want to invite you all to come to class every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm teaching the curses, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 29 on this class. but this is a series of courses where we'll teach all of chapter 28, so all 68 verses, okay? And what I do is a word for word evaluation, examination, analysis of every word in Deuteronomy chapter 20. This is the book behind me. You can purchase the book once I finish it. Hopefully within a week or two, I have the book finished. You can buy it. But anyway, it shows you how the words are put together. It's called morphology, right? Word morphology. It shows you the etymology coming out of Strong's, coming out of Brown Driver Briggs, 1611 KJV, and the academic gloss. All of that information is there. And then there's an explanation, a step-by-step explanation of how the words are constructed, plus a lot of other stuff. So you'll learn how to read, how to speak the words. Everything is in that. And I teach it in the course. The course, you can come get 4 free classes for free. So that's 1 month. And usually people are staying 6 weeks. Some people stay 8 weeks, they never pay. And I don't make a big deal out of it, but I would like for you to pay if you're able to pay right away. So anyway, you're welcome to come to class, bring your family, bring your friends. There's no doctrine discussed. This is just an academic, scholarly approach to learn what this book, what this chapter says. The curses is our foundational chapter because it identifies who we are. So it's very important to go through this, but it's also part of the contract, right? The contract that the Most High made with his people, and we're his people, the house of Yasharallah. So everybody really needs to know this. And it removes all doctrine, and you'll get to look at the literature, the literary aspect of this, so you can understand what our ancient, specifically what Moses said to our people and what our ancient ancestors understood that to mean without theology, without doctrine, okay? So, and then of course we go through grammar, but I don't do a lot with grammar because grammar is, actually we need to do a refresher course, but I do go over some grammar. But most of the scholars are students. At Zion Law School, you're not a student, you are a scholar, and the expectations are high. So anyway, I'm personally inviting you, asking you to come to class and learn, share the video, and hope to see you soon. Thanks for listening. Shalom. I'm Dr. Yasapo from Zion Law School.